Oh, I love that. What was that? Simply Maria?
Simplemente. Simple, just Maria. Simplemente.
Maria, like Cher. You don't need a last name. You just need one name
Maria.
to capture the beauty. So, Maria, what I'm going to do is that little warm-up I thought would be fun. This sort of just came up in my head. One word association. So I'm going to say a word.
Okay.
And you just say one word that comes up. If you say more than one word, it's okay too.
Okay.
But, so first one, family.
Love.
Pace.
Help. Love.
Peace.
Relaxation.
Love.
Awesome.
Maria.
Crazy.
Power.
Oh, use it well.
Dream.
Oh my goodness, hope they come true.
Death.
Rest. Go home.
And the last one. Oh, you just said it. The last one. Home.
Home is family.
See? We're done. Okay, now here comes some questions and answer as best you can, or if they're just you or what's most important. One question doesn't resonate with you, we skip it.
Okay, we'll see.
Can you share a little bit about your life before you came to St. Paul's Pace? What were some of your favorite memories? I sort of asked you a little bit at lunch about this.
Well, my favorite memories, like what I was saying, is the times that my mother was teaching me. I didn't like it at the time, but now I'm so glad that I learned, because it helps a lot, which is what I tried doing with my boys, and now my boys are teaching me.
There you go, full circle.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So just so we capture on here, give us a real quick Maria story. Born, lived for a while, then moved.
I was born in Tijuana, Baja California. I started all my schooling over here. My father brought us over.
Here over Tijuana or here US?
To the U.S.
When did you move to the U.S.?
1966. He immigrated us 4 that were born over there, because the other 4 were born already up here.
Gotcha. And how old were you at the time?
I was born in 1959, and we came in 1966.
Oh my God, you look so good.
My goodness gracious Lord, thank you.
So then you came to live
and we
here.
We went from Tijuana. We went straight to Sacramento. We lived there with one of my mom's aunts, and then from there we moved to Salinas, and we lived there that's where I started school, actually.
Like first grade?
For kindergarten, yes. I remember my first teacher's name was Mr. Ship.
Be careful how you say that.
Mr. Ship. Anyways, my little brother was born there. He's now 51, I guess, or 2. I'm not sure.
Wow. What about Mr. Ship? Do you remember anything special about Mr. Ship?
He was a very tall man. He had a flat haircut, blue eyes, and he was just very cool. He knew that I didn't speak any English, because I didn't, and he helped me out a lot with other students. Yeah, and I'll never forget him. From there, from Salinas, we moved to LA, and I did 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade there. When I passed to go start 4th grade, that's when we moved here to San Isidro from LA. And my dad put me back in the 3rd grade, and I was so upset. But anyways, I started elementary here in San Isidro, and I graduated here in San Isidro.
And while you were doing that, what was your mom and dad? What were their names?
My mother's name is Carmen. My father's name was Manuel.
And what were they doing at the time? What was their
My
occupations?
dad, after a while that we moved here, he started selling produce on his own, because, like I say, he was disabled. My mom was a
How was he disabled?
He when we lived in LA, he had an accident at work, and he broke five vertebrae.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
What was his work before he?
I don't remember. They were making motors or something. I don't know,
That's okay.
with ships or boats. It was a heavy duty job. I mean,
so sorry.
something fell on him, and yeah, he got hurt.
And then your mom, which is a great story you told Don and I earlier,
My
actually
mom,
was
yeah.
a social worker.
My mother was a social worker there in San Isidro. She loved it.
She loved helping people.
Oh yeah, she did. She did it great. I mean, she was always busy. But she had her first stroke because the man that last patient, the first that she went to go visit, was just he was dying. Well, he died on her.
Well, you told a miraculous story. She carried him
She picked him up and put him in her car
to take him to
to
the
bring
hospital.
him to the hospital from San Isidro.
Unbelievable.
But it was like almost 5 already, and traffic was bad. People getting out of work. She couldn't get around it to come all the way up here, and he died on her in the car.
Yeah, but what a magnificent lady your mother was to do
she
that. Most
was-
people would never have
yeah.
done that.
And he was a big man.
I don't know how big he was, but I mean,
God bless her.
she was a yeah.
So in other words, your mother was taking care of people like your friends right here in
us,
Celadon, trying to give them a better life and
yes,
treat them respectfully and
exactly.
and how
Checking up on them, see how they were doing, what they needed, you know, if they
And then
needed.
unfortunately at a young age you said she had not one, not two, but four
4
strokes,
strokes.
of which the last one unfortunately disabled
did.
her to a point she couldn't work.
The second one is the one that she stayed paralyzed. But like I said, I became her therapist, and
Well, you were her caregiver.
yeah, her therapist mainly. You know, I mean, I would make sure she exercised. That way, she could do things for herself and not have me having to do things for her. You know,
Right,
which
but-
I didn't mind it, right? But still, and
But also you said you were at one point you were also the caregiver to your dad, because you said at one point you were asked to move somewhere, right?
Yeah,
to be close to
well,
him to help take care of him.
I moved out of my house there in Imperial Beach because I was gonna go help my sister up in LA. Little did I know that they had already brought him back to stay with my brother. He was at my brother's house now here, and then I lost my house. And
You lost your house?
well, yeah, I gave it up because I was leaving to LA.
When you
And-
say lost it, you mean you just moved,
Well,
or you lost it
mo-
because
I was
you
gonna
couldn't afford to
move.
stay there?
Well, I turned it in. I turned in my keys because I was gonna move up to LA. But the day that I was, like the day before I was gonna leave up there, I called my sister to let her know I was coming, and she says, "Well, what for?" She says, "Didn't my brother tell you that he came and picked him up?"
Oy.
And I said, "No, nobody told me." "Oh, mija," she says, "I'm sorry. They came to pick him up," and oh my goodness. Well, then that's when I started staying at the ranch
With your brother,
at my brother's.
Gabby?
Yeah.
Gabrielle? And
He didn't live there, but he let me stay there.
Gotcha, with his first wife,
Yeah.
when he was married, the first wife. And
Yeah.
then you stayed there for how long,
Well,
and then why
I-
did you have to leave?
Before that, Frank came in before I moved over to the ranch, Frank was had come into the picture, so I was with him, living with him still for like about 10 years at his mom's house
And where was his mom living?
in Chula Vista.
Gotcha. And then this is the story, this is where it gets pace-oriented. Then at one point, how did Frank end up at
When
Talmadge?
his mom passed away, things just didn't go well anymore. I mean, the house that we were at, his brothers were there, and they started bringing girls, and all of this stuff was happening. I had my own little studio by then, right there about 2 blocks away. But and I didn't
What
see.
were you doing at the time? You said you had your own studio. Were you working at the bank, or were you working
I
at...
was working, no, at the bank.
At
All
Mac,
of that
or-
was before I got married. When I had those jobs before I got
Gotcha,
married.
okay.
When I had
And
my
your first husband, I'm sorry, his name was
Jack.
Jack, okay, and then Jack passed.
Yeah, he
So
passed.
sorry.
Yeah.
And then you met Frank.
Then I
many years
I
later.
met Julio,
Oh.
my third son's
Don't
dad.
limit her. Okay.
That was my third son's dad, and we were together for like 15 years.
Oh, nice. I
Yeah.
didn't get that before out of your... Okay.
Yeah. So and we
And
still
where did you and Julio live?
we lived right here in San Isidro, and in Chula Vista, in Imperial Beach,
Hmm.
all around right here, this area.
And then when...
We
You-
split up, him and I, 15 years later. I mean, him and Frank knew each other. I mean, they met, you know, when he would come over to get Danny, you know, take him with him, go spend the weekend with him or whatever. But they would sit
Danny's obviously his son, your
there.
son.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's my third son, my last son. But,
And how did you and Frank meet?
Well, one time that when Julio and I were already split up, I was moving into this big house, and old man John, this mutual friend, I knew him through Susan because we used to go south at the swap meet. And he came over to my house to help me move the things out of there, and he brought Frank with him.
Ah.
And the next day we went out, and the rest is history.
So there was a spark right away.
Oh yeah.
What'd you love most about Frank? I know you loved everything about Frank, but if you were to like
His
say
craziness.
your top three, craziness.
He was crazy. I mean, his attention and the way he said things, the way he would put things.
His perspective
Yes.
on things,
He was a lot of fun.
and he made you feel good about who you
Oh
were.
yeah. Little by little, he kept asking me to marry him. I said I already did that once, and he kept asking me. We were walking on the beach one night, and he says, "Why won't you marry me?" "You really want to marry me?" I said, and he says, "Yes, I want to marry you." "Okay, look at here. Watch. Under God's eyes," I said, "I, Maria Sandoval, would love to be your wife, and I will marry you from here forward under God's eyes." I went like that, and then I'm waiting for his turn, you know, and he's just looking at me. I go, "Well, it's your turn now." "Oh," and he said, "So we kissed. Okay, now let's go home." I said,
We're married.
"Yeah."
In God's eyes. Oh my
Under
God,
God's
it's a
eyes.
great story.
And
my
the
God,
rest
and-
was history until.
But again, since Donna's sitting here too, and she knows the story, I don't know the specifics. So Frank did end up at Talmadge,
Yes.
supportive housing.
When they lost their house, they had to move out.
Because they were doing crazy things. He
Yes,
said his
they were.
family was
Yeah,
not.
exactly.
moved
So
out, and
they
then
moved
he-
out, and he ended up, I guess, at Father Joe's.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
And from there, he got into Pace, and by then he went to go look for me at the ranch.
because
I
he
was-
was in love.
Well, I
Wanted
wasn't
it.
expecting him, and it was on my birthday.
Oh,
So I got off the car when my son brought me back when they took me out to eat, and he wanted his cap, and Frank had left a little note right there on the door. Oh my goodness, I melted. But
so then you were visiting Frank a lot at Talmadge.
no, he was still not in Talmadge,
Oh.
but
At Father Joe's, sorry.
yeah, well, yeah, he showed me where he was living at a guy's house over in Chula Vista, but he had showed me here and there. I went with him to some of his appointments to get into
Pace.
Talmadge. So when they gave him the apartment, his sister and I and him came to get the keys and look at his apartment for the first time ever. And when I walked in there and saw it, I said, "Ooh, my goodness!" Ideas came to my mind. I'm gonna fix it like this and this and this and that. And so I went. I stayed with him a lot, and that's when
At
I
Talmadge.
met at Talmadge, and that's when I
Met
met
this sweet
you.
lady.
Yes,
Donna and Mark.
and Mark. Yeah, because Frank told him, she wants to get into Pace and this and the rest is
Talmadge.
yeah.
And Donna, I bet the minute you met this one, and she said that to you, you were like, I am going to make this happen. She
It
is
did
going to be
happen.
a part of our Pace family.
It did happen.
So
I
that you
have
did
my
that.
ways. I have
Yeah,
my ways.
you see. And
And-
Frank took me to the places I needed to go and fill in the paperwork and all that.
And then, how did Frank Donna get to Celadon from Talmadge, or he didn't?
he never moved.
So he
He
passed.
passed it.
Oh, he
Yeah.
passed Talmadge. I'm sorry. And what did he pass from?
Cancer.
Oh,
Yeah.
must have been very
When they
lucky.
told him he
And
already
everything.
had stage 4.
Oh, so sorry. But then, after he passed, how did Celadon happen for his wonderful lady?
I got here into Celadon before he passed. I
Oh, you
mean,
did? Oh.
yeah. I've been here 3 years. In March, this March, it was 3 years. But yeah, they helped me get in here, and not that I was always over there, because what time are you gonna get here? What time are you gonna get here?
Right.
In the morning
I'm
I'd
going
say,
to pick up Maria.
yeah. He'd come and pick me up and come drop me off in the morning. I'd come and do whatever, and then in the evening again I'd get on the bus 2:15
Oh.
and yeah, stay there, go make dinner, go to the Walmart, buy paints. I
The
don't know.
best marriage. You have independence and yet you have
Yeah.
togetherness.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you said even though Frank's not with you physically anymore,
Oh, I
you
know
said he's with you because what did you say to me earlier? What is he doing?
Yes,
Driving you
he's
crazy?
playing tricks on me. He's moving things around, and when I'm not looking, and that's exactly what that's the only thing I told him. Don't be doing things on me like that. I said, moving things when you know I'm looking for them, because he's doing it. Oh, he says I'm gonna be with you all the time.
He's up there laughing with
Yes.
a big heart.
Yeah, he's around here.
Oh,
I know he's with me all the time.
oh, absolutely. and then you're.
I want him to hug me.
Oh.
I miss his hugs, but I'll see him. When I see him, I'm gonna pull his ear. He
You
left
said you miss him most when?
when I'm gonna go to sleep at
Yeah.
night. He's not there. I'd be playing with my phone. He's turn your phone off, and then he'd grab me and go to
Oh.
sleep.
So let's get back to the other part of the caregiving, because that's one of the things that we're trying to do at St. Paul's right now is honor
Yeah.
the caregivers, but especially the unpaid caregivers, because like when we were talking earlier with Donna, you didn't even look at yourself as a caregiver. You're like, it was my mother, it was my father, I did what I need, but you were
Yeah.
a caregiver. Now, when you were doing that, would you have appreciated support from an organization like St. Paul's,
Oh,
saying here are
yes.
resources that we can give you to help you take care of mom, to help
I would.
you take
I
care of dad?
recommend other people to. I tell everybody about it.
Yeah,
I
but
tell
you-
my big sister.
You didn't have any of that when you did on your
No.
own.
Yes.
And it was difficult.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And there was no paid caregivers.
No.
You were it. So
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
what we're trying to do. I know we've talked about that, but to show how important that is in one's caregiving as part of the caregiving team,
Yeah.
and that you need the supports that you
Yes.
deserve, because a lot of people look towards the paid caregiver or the actual person, which is fine, but if you really want to help everything, the whole, you have to go to that unpaid caregiver and say, let us be there for you. You need a group of people you can go to talk to when you get at that point where you're like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Or you need the resources when you're like, I need to get my mother from point A to point B, and I'm not sure how to do it. I'm 80 pounds and she's 110.
Yeah.
There are videos, there's
Yeah.
people, there's resources. So yeah,
Yes.
you would have
I would have to
benefited
calm
from
her
that.
down. That way she wouldn't, because, when you get a stroke, it hits you back here, and it's all that tension. I imagine, and she was a very strong-willed person, and being paralyzed and not being able to do the things, she would get, all tight, frustrated. I mean, that's when I had to come in. I didn't like seeing her like that at all.
Well, you told
So-
a lovely story to Don and I about how you would take your mom and put a sheet down on the
Oh,
ground,
yeah, that's-
lay her flat,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
what would you do? You
I would start massaging her. I would lie her down and I would start from here, from her forehead, real slowly. And she'd be lying on her stomach, and I'd be on top of her right here, massaging her. Oops. And I would whisper in her ear, pretend you're in a big field and a lot of flowers all around. Just close your eyes and relax and just look at all the flowers everywhere.
oh,
And I would massage her, real slow. It would take me about 2 to 3 hours to get her. I would do all her body, up to her fingers, turn her over. And
and you said at the end you would just lay there with your mother.
yeah, because she was normal. Her
Right.
arm wasn't, tight when she was awake. It was always like this. And when I would finish with her, she looked normal. We were just asleep, and so I would get tired after 2-3 hours. But it's a gratifying, very gratifying
Oh
feeling
my
to
God,
know
yeah.
that
You got to do that for your mother. She took care of you
yes,
for so many
yes,
years.
yes.
While we're on family, just so we can get this, can you tell us one more time how many sons, how many grandchildren, and their names?
Well, in my family, first my mom had Carmen, the oldest. She's still alive, and she lives in LA. Then there was my 3 brothers, Manuel, Ralph, and Jesse. And then I came next.
Of which only one is still with us.
That's the youngest one, Gabi. Then
Gabby,
came
who has
me
the
after.
ranch in Imperial Beach.
Yes. After Jesse came Maria, Lupe, and Terry, and then Gabi. So it was 1 girl, 3 boys, 3 girls, and 1 boy that my mom and dad had. The other 2 that passed, well, they were babies. I think 1 came after me, and then after my sister, the one that Lupe, she comes after me, and then Terry, she lives in Chicago, and Gabi, the one with the ranch.
And then your specific family, you have,
I have 4 grandsons and 1 granddaughter.
but how many kids?
I have 3 sons.
3 sons. That's right. I said 2. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
No, I
You
have
3
3.
sons, and what are their names?
My oldest is Joaquin Jack, but we call him Esteban.
And he's
Joaquin's-
married to.
He's married to a girl from, when he lived in Texas, he met her from Mexico up there, and I forget what the name of
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
And their kids, how many
And
kids?
then they have 3 sons, and their name is Esteban, the oldest. He's like 12, and then there's Leo, the second one, and then Caesar, the little one. And boy, they're very, very healthy. They have a lot of
Yay.
energy.
And they're in Texas or Missouri?
No,
or
they're
where?
in Missouri now.
Missouri.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the
And
other
then
son,
comes Albert. He lives here in Imperial Beach, and he's got the oldest of my grandkids, because he had kids before Esteban did. And his name is Betito,
Alberto,
Alberto.
and that's your
Call him
grandson.
That's my grandson. My son's name is Albert too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then there's Albert Jr. and Emily is my granddaughter.
And that's from, I'm sorry, that was from the second
From
son or the third son? That was
The
from,
second son. My third son doesn't have any kids
there
yet.
you go. You want to, but he has a girlfriend, and you're like, why are you not a kid?
He's
That's right.
married, but they don't have any
And
kids
you
yet.
keep pushing him, going like, what are you waiting for?
Yes, Emily needs a little cousin, a little girl cousin to play with.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you the question I asked you before. Now your grandchildren are all here, and I'm asking you to talk with them for a minute and tell them what they need to know to bring them the joy that you are living right now, or that you lived. What pieces of advice would you give them?
I like my grandkids, the 2 that are here, they're already wanting to start their own business, okay?
Oh.
They are, because
Wow.
my brother rents the ranch out every weekend, for parties, weddings, whatever, but he rents it out. So my grandson got this machine that you just put it there and you go and stand in front of it. It takes pictures. So he's gonna be renting it out, because on weekends his mother and father, they do setups for parties everywhere,
Nice.
So that's why I go and stay over there on weekends, to watch my
So one of
granddaughter.
the things you want to teach your grandchildren
Is
the
to
sense
learn,
of to learn and do something business or
yes,
to,
yes.
I know you mentioned earlier education.
Yes, you have to
Important.
have your education always learn. For your first school is at home, your house, your home, your parents. That's your first school. The second school is what's going to get you through life. You have to learn everything that's going on outside of your home. And the more you learn, the smarter you get, and everything you learn, no one can take from you, right? You learn to pick up what it is that you like to do the best, because that's going to be your job, and it won't be like a job. You can be your
It'll be
own
your
boss. It'll be fun to do work. So right now you have it going, Beto, I tell my grandson, you got this picture machine, your parents, do the catering and stuff. There it is. Open your eyes, you look, you listen, and you learn, and get ideas to where you're going to go.
And the importance of the F word you said.
The
Remember?
F word.
Family.
Family, well, yeah, family comes first.
Okay.
Ever you need,
Careful with that one.
if ever you need
Donna's
help,
laughing.
it doesn't matter where you're at, how old you are, if you're in China, you're in Mexico, and I'm over here, Hawaii. You always keep in touch with one another, because there's nothing else like family. At the end of the day, family is the only thing we've got.
And you feel like PACE also has offered you a second opportunity to have a family.
Well, I have a lot of friends here. I mean, yeah, and everything is family. I mean, when you care, it doesn't matter who it is. I mean, compassion is a thing that this earth is lacking a lot of, just to help one another, even just to listen, whatever, it helps. And it doesn't cost anything.
We're all family because we come from the original city.
Yeah, well,
I
we're
saw,
all here.
I got Monty, our little poocha, a little t-shirt that says, "Love makes a family."
Yes, yes.
Because
That's where it starts.
It truly does. And then the other thing you made me laugh was, what would you tell your male grandsons about women and about girls that they need to learn
I told my
right away?
Yes, my boys, I said, as you're growing up, I mean, things are going to start changing. You're going to start, not because you see a nice pair of legs walking in front of you with a little skirt, you're going to like, no, you go, you have manners, you have to learn. There's a lot to learn, because us girls like nice things. Therefore, you need to go to school so you can have a good job, be your own boss, and have money to take a girl out like a gentleman does.
value.
Yes.
Value the
Morals,
women in your life.
scruples,
Great advice.
dignity.
Okay, I'm going to
Respect.
switch this around. You're the salesperson. I'm here interested in Pace,
Okay.
but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Pace is a fit for me.
Oh my goodness.
Sell me.
You know, Pace is one of a kind, I see, you know, because they help you in many more ways than one. You know, through hard things, you know, with the government, the way it is nowadays, it's kind of difficult. If you go and ask for Pace, you know, they help you. I got my apartment here. I mean, they take you places. There's anything you need. You go and you ask them, you know, and they provide you.
And would them be sort of the Donnas and the Marks, or the people who live, the Celadon?
I say everyone
people
because
here
there's
who live-
different. I know you guys from housing. Nancy is with arts and
You
recreation.
mentioned Nancy a lot. So what is Nancy's role?
She's a recreation. She does recreation.
Activity director for Celadon
Yes,
College.
activities. We go places.
I'm just trying to figure out the village that you have here at Pace. I know Donna and Mark, Nancy. Who else would be part of that village that makes
The
your
social
life?
worker, Sarah.
enjoyable.
You know, we have a
Sarah,
social
okay.
worker here in case we need
Right on site.
anything. You know, I mean, everything is in our hands. You guys come and pick us up if we have to go to the doctor, bring us back.
So the healthcare, going to
to
clinic.
give
and-
us food, everything. I mean, you know, I mean,
Healthcare from your head to your
yes,
toe.
yes. I mean, all the
Glasses.
necessities that you have, that you need, they're there,
Your glasses.
and then some.
And getting to the ART, it also, you've told me, it allowed you to have the time to spread your artistic wings. In
So
other words,
have
so
fun
you
and
can-
make a mess.
Yeah,
I
but
bring
your
my
mess is someone else's beautiful
Hey.
art.
with my granddaughter. I take paints over there when I'm gonna stay over there, and I tell my son, you know, we're gonna paint, and then I just put something on the floor. We might get it on the walls after all. You got paint right there. You can paint over them. Just put something on the floor. We gotta put something on the floor in case we're gonna make a mess.
Right. And
And
you
that's
also
the
said
fun
you got
part.
started with art because of Frank
Frank,
over at Talmadge had an art class.
with Nancy, they did
Oh,
this
with Nancy.
stuff at Nancy
and
because
he
Nancy
brought it
goes
up to
over.
the
Yeah.
apartment, and you looked and went,
Hi.
I
Where'd
think
you
I
do
wanna-
that? Yeah, that's when I started.
I want to do that.
It's fun. There's nothing to it. It's just creativity. Let's see what comes out, and if it didn't come out good, you can always paint over it again.
Okay. And art to you is a
Oh,
always
relaxation. It's just getting creative. It keeps your mind busy, not just sitting there thinking on things that it's creativity. And then one thing leads to another. One idea gives you another, and let's see
And
what
here you are
happens.
teaching your granddaughter
Yeah.
the beauty of art, so it's all full circle. But you did say your mom and dad,
Oh
no art, no.
Their art
No.
was learning how to cook, and my dad learning how to. My dad was already starting to teach me how to speak French.
Oh wow.
I'm telling him, Dad, I don't think I'm ever gonna go to France. I mean, I never went to school in
But
Mexico.
again, he taught you the power of education, the
Yes.
importance of education.
Yes, he taught me how to read, write, everything in Spanish. And boy, every night we had to write a letter to a relative, and he would correct it with red ink.
Oh, that's a great story. Wow.
He was a professor back in a long time ago.
I love that. And then right behind you, you'll see, this is a gorgeous garden.
I got that from my daddy.
There you go. I was going to ask, and that's a passion of yours. And what's the
Yeah.
root? What's the roots
Yeah.
of that passion?
My dad, in the little piece of dirt that we had right there, right in front of our apartment in San Isidro, he made a bridge of what do you call them? Chayotes. It's like a vine, but
wow.
they sell it at the stores. It's a fruit. I don't know if it's a fruit or vegetable. He would grow chiles, tomatoes, corn, all right there in that little piece. One time I bought a plant, a house plant, and like he says, plants don't belong inside a house.
Oh,
When I went to school and I came back home, I'm looking for my plant. It was gone. There were like 10 or I don't know how many little pots outside in his garden of my plant that he had. Oh,
so funny.
no,
how
was
is-
it? But
How has living at Celadon changed your life? do you think?
I never in my wildest dreams thought I was going to be living downtown San Diego. I worked here at a bank, But I mean, me coming downtown was not a regular. I mean, it was. If it was coming downtown, it had to be. It was something very, very important.
And your plants outside now?
And yeah.
Are your plants outside now?
Yeah, now I have.
are.
Oh yeah.
And typical day. What's a typical day for Maria look like?
A typical day, I'll get up and come up and see what's going on. Usually my Linda's here will do gardening or whatever for a little while. Then I'll go downstairs and eat something, maybe sit for a minute, watch TV, get up, go to the store, go, I don't know, go down to Chula Vista.
Now you can have Thai food.
Yeah.
Because Don and I introduced you to Thai food today.
Yeah, yeah.
So now you can have Thai food for lunch or
There
dinner.
you go.
And you know where to go.
Yes, it's not far at all, man.
And they
then-
have luncheon specials.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. I want to go bowling right there too. I mean, I didn't even know that there was bowling right there. But anyway,
But sports, thank you for bringing that up.
sports.
Sports is another passion of yours. You were a runner.
I used to run track. I got my
Are we still
Yep.
going? Okay.
most valuable player trophy, my ring, my letter, my
In high
varsity.
school or junior high?
Yes. Well, all through. I started running in elementary.
Wow.
Okay. Just because they were going to have this race thing that they have once a year in elementary school. And the teachers that we ran against another school in San Isidro, and the teachers that were the track team teachers for that school, I didn't know them, but they saw me run and I won. I mean, before I knew it, they came to my house, knocking, asking my dad permission if I could be on their outside team, track team. So I was in the school team after that, from that day forward, elementary to junior high, high school. And I used to run with the school team and the outside team, which was with them. With the outside team, we would run against, people from all over the place. Right here, all over, a lot of places. It was fun.
Do you still walk or you walk? I know you love to walk.
Yes, I'm grateful I
Running's a
can
little
walk.
I would have difficulty running right now
No,
too much,
yeah,
but
no. If I have to run across because the cars are coming, yes, I'll. But
jog
no,
across.
yeah. Or if something's gonna fall on top of one of my kids or something, or you
Oh
know.
yeah, oh my
Woo,
God, yeah.
boy,
Or
for that
grandkids.
one I'll fly.
Yeah. Maria,
Yes.
before pace, Maria after pace. Describe each Maria for us. Maria before pace.
Before pace, Maria, the instability that came after when I was going to go move to LA with my sister. That was where the instability started. And now after pace,
Because you were, I'm sorry to interrupt, because I forgot, you were living out of your car at one point.
yes, for a
you-
little while,
When-
yes.
Was that,
That was right before I went to the ranch. Okay, because they were going through a divorce, my brother and his wife. Okay, so he didn't know if he was going to keep the ranch or the restaurant. Well, she's got the restaurant, but everybody knows him, and he's always there anyway. So he's got the ranch, and so after I found
what's the restaurant? Give it a plug.
What's the name of the
Oh, the restaurant is Baja Sushi and Oyster Bar
in
in Imperial
Beach.
Beach, right on the corner of Coronado and Saturn.
Go support them.
It's very good seafood. Very, very
Sorry, I
good.
totally interrupted.
Okay.
So we were describing the before Maria, and obviously you got to a point where you were living out of your car.
Yes.
And then how did you get from
I
that
stayed
to
at a few people's friends, few people that I knew, who
let you stay at their homes?
Yeah, but you can't. It's not right. I don't know.
Did you ever imagine that you would have that
No.
have to be in a car living
No.
your
And I stayed in.
How old were you?
I don't know, about 30 something,
Yeah,
40
never,
something.
You never expected to. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
my kids don't really know that. That's what's
Oh, you
happening.
never told them.
No.
And you wouldn't move in with them because you didn't want to tell them because you didn't
Well,
want to.
because they're, I always see, like with me, I didn't want to be living with my in-laws or anything. I always wanted my own home, which I had. So they needed to have their own home, They didn't need mom living there with them. I didn't want to live with them.
Maria, you're incredible.
Yeah. So, but it, like I said, if you keep your mind open and you mean business, you gotta
It
love
will
yourself.
come.
Yes, but you gotta look and find, search. And God is grand.
And so is that when you? I'm sorry. Is that when you met Frank? How did you get out of the car situation to a home? Was that when you
Well,
met-
that was before I had met Frank, because
Where did you go after the car after staying on friends?
I ended up at my brother's ranch.
Oh, you did go back to the ranch.
No,
Okay.
that's when I went to the ranch.
Oh, that's when you went to the ranch. Because I thought
Yes.
you said it was either the ranch with the ex-wife
I lived with
or the.
I lived with Frank's, but at Frank's mom's house. We lived there
Oh,
for
gotcha,
about
okay.
10 years maybe. But when his mom passed away, things got and
Gotcha.
we weren't together for maybe 3 or 4 years, and that's the time I lived at the ranch. Because I was gonna leave to LA, but I didn't.
Gotcha.
So I stayed at the ranch, and I loved it there. It was fun. And then that's when Frank went to go look for me. Then I started staying with him.
Aren't you glad you didn't go to LA?
Yes.
How
I
many
would-
people have said that?
Oh yeah, I was in LA. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah.
And so, what advice would you give to someone who was in that situation where they're living out of their car, and
I
not
would-
knowing
I would
what
say
tomorrow will bring?
I would give him the PACE card. A PACE card. That's what I did with
I
Jim.
did not tell her to say that, by the way.
I did.
Oh,
But give them or tell them, to go and sign up. And all they can do is say no. But if we need help, you just it has to start somewhere, right there. They ask. You always ask. Something will come.
future. Let's talk future. Let's end this on a positive note. How do you envision your life evolving in the next few years?
Probably having more grandkids and them taking me out to
There you
eat
go.
and all of that.
For Thai food?
Yes, nice Thai food.
What are your hopes for the future, both personally and for St. Paul's Pace? the
St. Paul's
community here?
Pace is gonna grow bigger and bigger because we're gonna. From my side, I will always recommend people that are in the need of help to come to Pace.
And being that we're probably going to have you, as I've told you, part of the Summerfest, and you'll have an opportunity to speak with all these people. What would you like to tell the guests and donors attending the fundraiser? Why are their contributions important to you and to your community?
To
at
help
Pace?
it grow and to give us better services, or to help others that are in the need, so it can grow because it's needed.
To expand.
Yes, expand.
So we can help
yes.
more people.
Yes.
Excellent.
I don't know how far you guys are, the program is, but yes, if it works here, it can work in other places. There's a lot of people that need help.
Gotcha.
And teach them how to make some banana
So
bread.
before August.
Oh, banana bread.
Can you come up with 14 people?
Me?
14, yeah.
14 people when?
14 people for Reasoner before August 1st.
Oh, no, I don't
We
know
got a
about
goal.
14.
Come on, you can do it, Maria.
Hey, I will spread the word. There's already one in line. He keeps calling me.
I know, I gotta call him.
Yeah, oh boy.
That's right. For Maria's basket, we're gonna have banana bread that she makes. We're gonna have her hot sauce.
Oh,
Obviously, her artwork. Right. We're gonna have. What are those things in the trees that aren't there yet?
the pomegranate.
Yeah, we're gonna have pomegranates. Will they be by
Oh,
August?
I'm
Can we
sure
have some
there will be
pomegranates?
some.
I'm gonna bid on that. Maria's
Oh,
favorite
they're
things
good.
basket. Okay, we're gonna end this off. I'm gonna do the words again with you, and you're gonna do it one more time.
Okay.
One word.
Do they have to be the same?
No, I don't want
Okay.
to. Now that
Okay,
we've gone through
good,
this,
because I don't remember the first one.
family,
Love, lots of love, and working together.
peace,
Take a walk on the beach.
love,
Family again, growing stronger.
power,
Help others.
dream,
Ah, beautiful things.
pace,
Help, lots of help. Awesome. Very awesome.
home,
A roof over my head and relaxation. Love.
Maria.
Maria, she's crazy and always going. Always wanting to learn.
And we love her.
I love you
love
guys
Maria.
too. I
Mwah.
love you guys. You guys are
Thank
awesome.
you, my darling.
I am so grateful to you guys for all the help. I mean, I have a home.
For all
see?
your paints.
Oh, you got goosey. You're getting goosies?
Yes,
She's
yeah.
getting goosies.
Because
Oh.
I mean it, yes. the
And you will
goosebumps.
always have a home as long as we're
Woo!
here.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
What a lovely day.
It is.
It's
It's
been-
gorgeous.
Yeah,
There we go.
I hope this didn't run out.
it's still